call this October 2nd work session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First thing we need is a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess?
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we have our superintendent's report. Dr. Branch.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, board members, visitors, and staff. We are excited. Today is Custodian Appreciation Day, so hopefully you've seen some of the social media posts from our schools and our school system appreciating our custodians and the great work they do for our school system. Later this month we'll get a chance to also celebrate our cafeteria staffs, because we'll have National School Lunch Week, as well as our school bus drivers, as it'll be National School Bus Safety Week as we go throughout this month. So we just want to thank all those individuals, and I know that our staff would want me to let you know that we do have vacancies available should you like to join that workforce. Speaking of outstanding employees, and team members, the month of October is also National Principals Month, and I know our principals are here, and it's Monday, so I'm sure they're feeling greatly appreciated and have lots of good energy from the travels they've been doing this weekend and supporting our students. But we want to thank all 12, for the first time we get to say that, all 12 of our principals for their outstanding leadership that they provide on a daily basis. I want to thank the board and all of our staff members that were able to join the Teacher of the Year celebration recently, as we named Miss Amy Nix the District Teacher of the Year from Collin Ferry Elementary School. And we celebrate Ms. Nix and look forward to her moving forward in the process. She's already begun working with Mr. Kofer and his team in terms of going through the state level process that is next. Also want to thank all of our business partners that supported that, and it's always a tremendous evening to see our teachers take away those wagons with all the different gifts, as well as the Teacher of the Year, Ms. Nix, taking away those additional monetary gifts that people usually in the audience have a good time adding up. So, of course, our staff and students help us get lots of wonderful recognitions, and we've had a few more of those come in since we last met. We have been named the #1 county school system in the state of Georgia again this year. That has happened every year since 2013 due to the outstanding work of the individuals in this room, all of our schools, great community support, and of course the talented students we have walking in each and every day. We had 8 schools recognized in the top 11 in the elementary, middle, and high school, and so I want to congratulate all of those schools, and all of our schools were very, very highly rated throughout the course of those rankings. A few more awards for our school systems. Dove Creek Elementary, High Shoals, and Rocky Branch had the pleasure of having State School Superintendent Richard Woods deliver banners personally to recognize them as literacy leaders ranked on their 3rd grade reading scores. We were 3 of 70 schools selected in the state for achievement, and only 155 schools overall were recognized. So congratulations to those outstanding schools and those school leaders and students. We also, you'll hear more about this later tonight, but we have the 3rd rated SAT scores in the state for SAT achievement, and Dr. Stancil is going to be talking more about that, so I won't steal too much of her thunder for that. But I do want to also say that just today we had another announcement as it relates to honors and recognitions, and that is the Georgia Department of Education designated High Shoals Elementary School as a Title I distinguished school today. And so hopefully Ms. Whitaker is aware of that. All right. Distinguished schools are among the highest performing 5% of Title I schools statewide, and that's based on ELA and math content mastery scores. So congratulations to High Shoals And glad I could deliver some good news for a change.
We always think good news on Monday.
There you go. So due to all these awards and all the great work that's taking place, I know the board will join with me in thinking that our students and staff need a little bit of a break. Our staff is going to have a professional learning day on Friday, and then we're all going to close down the school system on Monday and have a much-deserved 3-day weekend to rest, hopefully relax, and a little rejuvenation. What that also means is that our next board meeting will not be next Monday, but the following Monday for our regular session. So that will conclude Superintendent's report, unless there are questions.
Thank you, Dr. Branch. Next on our agenda is presentations and discussions. First, we have teaching and learning report. Welcome, Dr. Stansel.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. The October 2023 Teaching and Learning Report contains 2 items of information and no action items. The first item of information is an update on the 2023 SAT results. This first chart illustrates that Oconee County Schools earned a mean SAT composite score of 1149, which is well above the state score of 1045 and the national mean score of 1003. This next chart shows the number of OCS test takers for 2023. This shows an increase of test takers from 488 to 503. This next chart displays the rankings for the top 10 districts in the state. Like Dr. Branch shared, OCS is ranked 3rd in the state among county school systems and is ranked number 1 among all systems in Northeast Georgia. Congratulations to all our students, parents, teachers, and administrators on these outstanding results. The second item of information is an update on our strategic planning process. We had an amazing turnout of 500 people for our community engagement session on September 19th. The stakeholders in attendance completed a SWOT analysis to identify strengths and weaknesses, as well as opportunities we can be utilizing and external threats that could affect our system. A survey has been posted to continue to collect information from our stakeholders as part of our strategic planning process. And as a reminder, here is our strategic planning timeline. So several things have already been checked off, including our board training and planning meeting, our community strategic planning event. We're doing our OCS stakeholder surveys right now. And then in November, we will have our strategic planning team meeting. In January, we will move into our action team meetings with district level leaders. And then from January through March, we will develop all the goals, initiatives, and action steps needed to get the work done. Then in April, Dr. Branch will recommend approval. And in May to June, it will be posted for review. And then in June, the schools will develop their school improvement plans based on our strategic plan. And that concludes the teaching and learning report, unless there are any questions.
Questions, Mr. Burgess?
Susan, the survey will be out there available all the way through the end of October?
The survey actually closes tomorrow, so it is open
okay.
for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the last day.
What kind of response have you gotten through in that so far compared to, say, last time we did this?
So last time we did this, we had 267 people respond. As of this morning, we had 999 responses.
Okay.
So we've had great response
Yeah.
to our event and to our survey.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. Next, we have technology. Welcome, Dr. White.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. Technology has 2 items of information for this evening's board work session. The first item of information is our wide area network. The wide area network carries our local network and internet traffic. The contract for this service is coming up for renewal and is currently out for RFP. This project will be paid for using E-rate and general fund dollars. E-rate is a federal program administered by the FCC that funds networking equipment and services for K-12 school systems. We qualify based on our compliance with the Children's Internet Protection Act, which mandates students have a filtered internet experience. Technology will share this as an action item at the November 6, 2023 Board of Education regular session. Our second item of information is our winter technology surplus list, based on our current replacement cycles. Once finalized, technology will share this as an action item at the November 6, 2023 Board of Education regular session. That concludes technology, unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Next, we have our Associate Superintendent's report. Welcome, Dr. Duff.
Good evening, everyone. The Associate Superintendent's report contains 2 items of information and 2 action items for the October 16th Board of Education meeting. The first item of information is school nutrition. I'm happy to report that our breakfast and lunch both increased 1.3% over last year at this time. I also want to make the board aware that we have issued an RFP for a combination oven for Malcolm Bridge Elementary School, and we're hopeful to bring you an action item for that oven in November. That'll be funded by school nutrition and a USDA equipment assistance grant. The second item of information is athletics. On behalf of all the school leaders in the room, I want to thank the board for their continued support of athletics. As you know, we've implemented the opportunity for our 6th graders to participate in athletic programs at our middle schools for the first time ever in Oconee County this year. I wanted to share with the board that as we approach the end of our fall season in middle school athletics, we've had 96 6th graders participate, which accounts for about 15% of our total 6th grade population. So a lot of opportunities for kids that did not exist previously that with you all support, our school leaders have been able to implement, which we're very, very proud of and excited for those kids to get that chance. I have 2 action items. Both are field trips. North Oconee FDLA, I'd like to travel to Providence, Rhode Island, November 10th through 12th. And Oconee County High School FDLA would like to travel to Orlando, Florida, July 28th through July 3rd next summer. That concludes the Associate Superintendent report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Mr. Burgess?
Alice, what sports are those 6th graders generally participating in?
So everything but football is what we have throughout the year. This fall we had cheer, volleyball, and cross country.
So those 96 are primarily in those 3 sport areas?
Yes, sir. And softball. I don't know if I said softball.
Softball.
Oh, okay, softball as well.
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Student Services. Welcome, Ms. Corngold.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. Student Service has 3 information items for tonight's board meeting and no items for next board meeting. The first item of information we have is Victory Day at Oconee High School. The Oconee County High School team hosted a Victory Day on this past month in honor of our special fans from the Oconee County clustered schools. The event began with a short meet and greet with the football players, the teams, and the coaches in the locker room. Oops, sorry, there's student pictures, okay. The students then ran out of the field house and they ran onto the football field with the band playing and the cheerleaders cheering them on. The students participated in a short game where the special needs students were paired up with members of the football team as their buddy for the event. The event included some practice drills with the team, and the band and the cheerleaders all participated with the students as well. This is a parents and school staff and community members all were involved in this event. I want to thank Coach Hall and Dr. Yancey for all their support in this annual event. The second item of information is the Georgia Parent Mentor Partnership Conference. I was asked to present with Dawn Kemp, the DOE data manager, on the Let's Measure It. It was how we use student assessment data and parent survey data to support the work of our students with disabilities. The presentation examined the role of data in supporting outcomes of students with disabilities. It focused on how we equip districts and parent mentors with knowledge that is necessary to examine and utilize assessment data across the state. I also was asked to share how we are, the process that we use for increasing parent participation in our state survey each year, and I shared that back in the August board meeting. Each year, how we increase the number of participation from our parents, and that the hard work that's put into building relationships for us to receive a 97% satisfactory rate from our parents in Oconee County. The third item of information is school choice applications are coming around the corner. They're going to be available November 17th. It will be advertised on all of our social media platforms as well as our district homepage. The window will open in November 17th and it will close January 19th. This year, all schools are available for school choice. That concludes my report, unless there's any other questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Next, we have operations. Welcome, Mr. Ricketson.
Good evening. The Oconee County Schools Operations Division, October 2nd, 2023 Board of Education report contains 4 items of information and no action items for the October 16th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. Our first item of information is the energy report. It's been updated for the month of August. Our second item of information is the lead custodian meeting. It was held on Thursday, September 14th, and was hosted by the team at North Oconee High School. The team discussed improvements to our chemical dispensing process and changes to our repair request process. Our custodial teams are to be commended for the rigorous work cleaning and ensuring our schools are clean for health. Third item of information is our construction update. First is our Oconee County Primary School, Elementary School, and Oconee High School Phase 2 modifications. I'm happy to report that the project is complete. We've got a few little punch list items we're working on this week, but that job is finally finished. Next is the Instructional Support Center. They made 2 major concrete pours last week. As you can see, the 2nd and 3rd floor have been poured. They're going to start flying the roof trusses in this week, probably tomorrow. And so the shape of the building is really starting to shape up. And they continue to do really well there. Malcolm Bridge Elementary School addition. As you can see, they have, the metal roofing is just about complete. It's hard to tell from this picture, but it is green. It does match the other roofs. The interior walls are finished. They're starting to put the first coat of paint on this week, and they're moving along really, really well. Finally, we've got the tennis court lighting project. They're standing the light poles this week, they're going to begin pulling the wiring for the lights this week, and hopefully doing the final terminations next week or the following week. By the end of the month, we should have lighting operational at both high schools. And finally, our fourth item of information is the Transportation Department has coordinated the following field trips over the past month. 27 field trips, 94 athletic trips, 21 special ed trips, for a total of 190 buses deployed, and 10,644 miles. That includes the operations report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Next, we have communications. Welcome, Mr. Coughlin.
Thank you, Ms. Argo. Good evening, everyone. The communications report has 2 items of information and no action items. The first item of information is a graduation update. We announced last week that the North Oconee and Oconee County graduations will now take place on the respective school campuses, as State McConnell will not be available next spring due to some additional construction that is planned. We do look forward to celebrating on May 17th with North Oconee and May 18th with Oconee County in their football stadiums. Second item of information is the monthly highlights video showcasing the 12 schools. September was jam-packed, with a lot of good activities across the district. And that concludes communications, unless you have any questions for me.
Thank you. We do have a need to go into executive session, but before we do, I hope everyone enjoys your fall break. We need a motion.
Make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss or deliberate upon personnel matters as described in the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Perry.
Second.
Mr. Hammond, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Okay, board members, we'll take a few minutes to clear the room and return for executive session.